All right, let's begin. Welcome to my channel, beautiful souls. Today we are here. We're going to look at a deck that was gifted to me. This is called the AlcheMystical Tarot, and I did share, I believe it was the Hermit card when I was doing another video. And one of you asked me to share the complete deck, so that is indeed what I'm doing today. So welcome. If what I say to you resonates with you and you're not a member of the channel yet or a subscriber, you know what to do. All of the buttons are just below, and I really appreciate your feedback and your contributions in every way. There are now, I want to say, hundreds of videos available for members on this channel, and we are presently working with a Thoth-inspired series. That is a new series, and there are um, lots of other videos available. Deck deep dives, the card comparison series, the Lenormand series. There's just a lot of videos. So those are available for Citrine members and higher. So let's go through the major arcana. This is a 92 card deck. So this deck has 5 minor suits. The major arcana is often associated with the element of ether. And in this deck, we have a separate suit of ether. So I haven't worked with this deck. I received it as a gift for my birthday in the summer from a subscriber, from somebody on YouTube. And I I haven't worked with it yet, but I'm in the process of sharing it with you today. You're going to hear my initial impressions and some thoughts on the deck. The card stock reminds me a lot of a Hay House deck. It's a little bit thinner, which of course with 92 cards, it has to be in order to shuffle it. Hi, Joseph, welcome. It is printed in Italy, which is, I find very interesting. Ludo Cards is the printer, which is unusual that we find information about that. And the artist, or I should say the graphic designer, artist, is from Bangalore, India. She is a student of symbolism, and she draws her inspiration from nature, spirit, and mysticism. And the artist's name is Chinkal Pareek. And I put the names, links, various things down below. And you can find, this is the deck by Sara Roberts, and her website is also down below if you're looking for more information about Sara Roberts. So let's go through the majors, and I will turn them over one by one. Aroha Nui, hello from New Zealand, welcome. Okay. So keyword is journey. We see the symbol of the rose, the white rose, a symbol of purity. Sara says in this deck that she does use her mother and her children in this deck. So that, for me, photorealism must be done really well for me to be working with a deck. So I will be looking at that as we go through. The way that the deck was put together in the box, in the guidebook, it's not following Golden Dawn order or anything like that. This is very much a deck that is doing its own thing. And you can see a very unusual order and combination, the way that the elements are portrayed here. But this actually, no, that's not. That's a Kabbalistic order, the order that we see in the, interesting. So on the Magician card, we see ether, and then we see water. No, this is backwards, because in the Tree of Life, the worlds go fire, water, air, earth. And here she's got water, fire, air, earth. I've been trying to make sense of this to see if there's rhyme or reason, but I want to give this deck space to be doing its own thing. So we're looking at resources. This card, this looks very much like a healer. It's a very feminine, flowy deck. To me, it looks a little bit like the Moon Child. And if there are any cards that you would like me to read from the guidebook, maybe I'll briefly look at one or two of them. I'm happy to do that. Hi, Tammy Ann. Namaste. Okay. So you can see that traditional symbology is absent. What struck me here with these cards is that there's a flow of energy, right? There's a sense of movement in the hands and so forth. Hi, Helen. Yeah. Okay. So for those of you just coming in, this is the AlcheMystical Tarot. Mystery is the key word, and they are not numbered. Not numbered. And I'm guessing this is her mother. She did mention Sara Roberts' mother. Yeah. So we have Empress and Emperor. I have not noticed any astrological symbols or anything like that. We do see the mountains in the background, which is the fields, if they're present in the Empress. Can't really see them. Hierophant. Looking at the screen, I can't see the keywords. Maybe I should get the guidebook out and then I'll just read it from the guidebook. Interestingly, the major arcana is introduced last in the guidebook. Okay. Electric was the keyword for Emperor, and perspective for the Hierophant. There are short descriptions in the guidebook. I'll read you this one. The Hierophant chooses the view from which she interprets experiences witnessed. Very yogic language. This is a free will choice to see from an internal or external perspective. Events can be viewed from an outside viewpoint, or the Hierophant can immerse itself into the dream. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Yes, and there is a spelling mistake. And this is a very common spelling mistake on that card. I have a few decks, actually, where the Hierophant is spelled incorrectly, and it is a little bit of a pet peeve. I mean, Amy, Peace Ninja Woman, noticed that right away. Lovers is fusion. It's kind of a cool word. The Chariot is migration. Very interesting keyword for this. That keyword to me feels like a keyword that might be more associated with a 5. There's a sense of strife that's associated with migration. As any internal and external imbalances are expressed, the experience becomes one that is either consciously altered from within or viewed unconsciously as a controlling external force. And this is the proverbial question about the rains or no rains. Conviction is the keyword here. And the reason for this walkthrough was because of this particular card, which is the Hermit. Analysis. The Hermit reviews and inspects his own internal workings. There's a term in yoga called svadhyaya, which is the practice of self-reflection. Hello, Kayanet. This language sounds like that. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. I'm surprised she calls it the Wheel of Fortune. Hi, Erica. We do see the alchemical symbols. There is a flow of energy. Yeah, we see the Hebrew letters and the Rota Tarot letters as well too. Rhythm. Now that's quite a bit. I love that actually. It's a great keyword. And here, so then, oh yeah, this is 11. In the book, this is the 11th card. Amber, lie down. Lie down. Quite like that. Surrender is justice. Now, isn't that interesting? Because I'm well, Kayana, thank you. Surrender is a word, a key word that I would associate with the Hanged Man. And for the Hanged Man, she has chosen a selection. The Hanged Man analyzes from another point of view. This requires removing focus from the external experience to witness this from a higher perspective. Amber. Sorry, there's a great excitement outside my window right now. Amber. This time of day, it's Grand Central Station. There's so many people walking by. Okay, so death is a very common key word. It is transformation. Thanks, Erica. Temperance. The inner world balances by correcting distorted and false beliefs. That is an interesting language here. So the keyword for temperance is revision. Conscious choice to regain equilibrium within is a necessity. I'm not reading all of the bits and pieces. And then we get to the Devil. This looks like quite a interesting card. I was feeling a bit of a the keyword is absolution. Wow. The illusion has fooled the intellect into believing that it has been held prisoner by external events. It's quite they're brief, but quite insightful descriptions. The Tower is force, which works with the planetary energy, I suppose. The Star is navigation, and I mean, this is a cute kid and everything. I just have I'm just not one for, and to me, a child on this card, this is a kind of a high level frequency card, level on the journey. And I know children are closer to God and yada, yada, yada. The part of the experience allows the dreamer to trust itself. The dreamer realizes it is part of all that it feels connected to in the web of life. And I guess another one of her children is also on the sun. Does this remind you a little bit of Moonchild? I suppose the type of collage work, the blending is a little bit different. Intuition and realization for the sun. This is quite a pretty card. There's a portal-like quality to what's going on in the card. I quite like that. Okay. I'll have to move my computer over when I'm doing walkthroughs. I don't do a lot of walkthroughs. So. The World. We have the light in the heart space. And for the World, Sarah says, this phase of consciousness for the dreamer has now finished. A fragment of the self is now returned as whole and complete. Expanding consciousness is a never ending experience. The dreamer is equipped with the knowledge needed to integrate more of itself as it continues to expand. So, those are the majors. So, the majors follow an RWS number system with 8 for strength, 11 for justice. There are no numbers on the cards, and there are keywords on each of them. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to back off the camera a little bit, and I like to do this. It's a lot of card shuffling. And I also want to introduce the suits in, I don't know if I can do 5 cards at a time. We can try. So I want to go back to that magician card and try to figure out if there is rhyme or reason to this ether, water, fire, air, earth. So this is, and in the guidebook, it's introduced water, fire, air, earth, ether. I want to believe that there's a reason for a deck creator, for everything a deck creator does. And I know that's not always the case. Sometimes, yeah. So we'll see if I can expand the camera. Just give me 1 second here while I attempt to do this. Okay, as long as I don't move them too much, that should work. That should work for this part. Okay. And thank you all for your patience with my doggy. Another deck that I have yet to pick up is the Alchemical Oracle. Most of you know that I very comfortable working with Kim Kranz's decks, and I have not picked up that one yet. And this one is not called alchemical, it's alchemistical. So we'll see how this goes here. The third eye is in the center. So this isn't following the Tree of Life Worlds. It's not I'm just can't figure out if there's a system here. So these are the 5 aces, and like the major arcana, there are keywords on each of these. And that, may be very useful for some people to have the keywords on the cards. So let me know what you think. Okay. Download. What seems to be, so this is water, fire, air, earth, ether. She has a lot of personality, doesn't she, Amy? If she's not snoring beneath my feet, she's purring at the people outside. So what's happening in these twos? What are you feeling? A sense of awakening? I really don't know. And the guidebook, it'd be nice if the guidebook was organized. So the keyword for Two of Water is merge. Yeah, it's a little different take on, it's not a sense of separation. There's a single figure in each one. So at the end, I will give the deck a good shuffle and we'll do a reading of sorts. And if anyone has a question, start thinking about that and we'll do a brief reading. So yeah, photorealism, not consistent with 333. I see we have in the Three of Fire, there's three posts or something in the background. The key word on the Three of Earth is process. And another thing, especially I've been working with the I'm always with lots of different decks, but we just had a little chat about the Herb Crafters Tarot. And it's really interesting to look at the relationship between the threes, the sixes, and the nines, because we can learn a lot in a deck as to what the creator is doing with those numbers. Very interesting. Four of Earth, the keyword is practice. And I take that to mean, one's spiritual practice. This feels very much like an oracle deck. I'm not sensing any cohesion between the numbers. And the coloration of each of the suits doesn't appear to have a... Yeah. Okay, so here we are at the fives. I find it odd that the Five of Air has such a Rider-Waite looking card, because this is really the first one that we've seen. Okay. And really interesting that not one of these cards is called beauty. Six is harmony, peace, beauty. This is an important number of union. Suit of Water is reflection. Suit of Water, reflection. The dreamer begins to see the reflection of the pattern appearing in the outer world. This allows the outside experience to become a mirror of a past memory which assisted in the formation of a distorted belief or behavior. There may be more brilliance in the color in the suit of Ether. You know what I mean? Like more rainbow colors. And in this particular card, I see like an earthiness to the earth card. There appears to be more blues in the air cards. I've kind of mixed these up, so it might be difficult to flip through things. Like, yeah, there's a lot of clouds. These are 4 air cards, so there's a lot of clouds in the air cards. When I say that, it makes me think more like an Osho Zen deck where we have rainbows in the suit of earth and clouds in the suit of air, but this is different because the rainbows are in the ether suit, the 5th suit. I want to thank Jasmina for sending me this deck. It's beautiful. I don't think it's a deck that I would use though, and she gave me permission to pass it on. So thank you. And we have a Rider-Waite style image and the 8 of Cups. And very interesting. So look at the center card here. So this is the 8 of Air. The 8 of Air, we have 3 hands rising up. I'll find that description for you. The dreamer is now creating uncomfortable experiences from repeating a belief pattern. This causes a sensation of restriction and entrapment. See, I don't get that from the illustration at all. It sounds like a Rider-Waite-Smith description. Am I missing something? She says, conscious state contracts in fear of reliving past discomfort. A distorted belief assists in the repetition. So another thing sometimes that can be very helpful is to look at the 4 and the 8, right? Looking at the 8 as a double 4 to see if there is some pattern. There's something consistent in these cards. I can see that. This is the number of completion. So there's some unity going on here. And then 10. Ten of Earth is very pretty. Quite like the portal in the 10 of Ether. Okay, so now we go to the quartz, and the quartz, of course, have been renamed, and we start with the Seeker. Which is the Seeker is a common name for the first court. Do you feel the energy of the element here? For me, not so much. Okay, so we go from seeker to traveler. There's lots of what's the word? Wisty, mystical, energy, smoke, steam. And I haven't noticed animal sigils. I know we have an animal here in the Traveler of Earth. Do these appear more mature than the seekers? Don't know. So we go from mystic. So these are the mothers. So it goes seeker, traveler, mystic, and then alchemist. And then I'll show you the alchemist cards. I think I have other decks that have an extra suit. It's funny, I'm just thinking of the Alley Man. Like even when I redid my Alley Man, I just chose 78 cards. I didn't choose 78 plus 14. He had designed an extra suit. I don't see the need for an extra suit because the element of ether is already built in to the major arcana. And this is the alchemist, right? So this is the one who is had the most experience working with the alchemy of the element, mystically or through potions or spells. Or we have a very young alchemist in the fire suit. Okay. All right, so I think what I will do is I'll shuffle the deck. It's a lot of cards, right? 90, what did I say? 92. So 14 times 5 plus 21. And again, if anybody in the playback is resonating with this deck, let me know. Oh, I gotta put the majors in here too. Okay, and we'll see how this shuffles. This is not the whole deck. Just giving a preliminary two-part shuffle. We'll put it together. If the cardstock is beautiful, it does have it is edged. It's kind of, I think it's a gold, or it's a gold, matte gold edge. And because the cardstock matches the number of cards that are in the deck, it shuffles beautifully. Yeah. A little bit awkward, but for a deck that is oversized and has so many extra cards, it shuffles really well. Okay, I'm going to ask a question, unless you have a question, but I think I'm going to focus on the question I was developing for the next hour. So the next hour I'll be in the Facebook group. And this has to do with us being in Scorpio season and looking into the darkness and understanding that some of the greatest transformations happen through looking into the darkness. This appears to be a deck of light. I'm not sure that I saw any darkness in this deck. So I'm wondering if there is a question that I can ask that would pick up on this. So what I'm saying is this is a light deck. There's no dark in this deck. There's no dark to balance the light. So I'm not even sure what I'm asking, but I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Okay. With awareness of the present energy of Scorpio, we are just at today is the second day of November. I believe we're on the last day of the first decan of Scorpio. So we're shifting from the energy of like 5 of Cups to 6 of Cups, still in the influence in the Rider-Waite of the King of Water and in the Thoth, the Prince of Water. So these are and the Death card as well, too, of course, and coming through the energy of Samhain. So what does the AlcheMystical Tarot have to share with us about working with the darkness and working with it as kind of a heroic aspect of spiritual growth? Okay. All right, so I'm cutting. No, this deck is going to cut beautifully. And I'm going to turn over 3 cards. We have the Ace of Fire. This is our first card. I'm not going to hop up and change the camera again. Sorry, I should have got closer to the other camera today. My apologies. Okay, Ace of Fire. So acknowledging transformation. This is the Alchemist of Spirit. So we have, to me, what looks like a kind of like an alpha and an omega here. I know fire is not her first suit, but when we're looking at tetragrammaton energy, fire is first. So this is the alchemist of the extra suit, the king of the extra suit. This, the card on the right would then be the 92nd card. So looking at this as a 2-card reading, what I'm hearing is that this deck has a whole range of possibilities from the beginning to the end. You will be able to explore your journey. And indeed, this deck can be a light in the darkness. Interesting. Listen to this quote. So, sorry, for those of you that are going to be here in the next hour, you're going to hear some of this again, but listen to this. So in the Facebook group, I am pulling a card from the Red Seeds Oracle, and we're having a little chit chat around it. And they have synchronistically kind of fit into various themes. And on Red Seeds Oracle 2, there's a quote from Sappho, and this is the quote for today. Faintly, One fair star of evening enkindles on the dusk afar, its lone fire shining serene, till the darkness will deepen others to splendor. I'm going to read it again. I think this is something definitely worthwhile mulling around. And I'm reading it to you because the star card showed up here, right? The card of inspiration, destiny, direction, a sense of awakening after challenges. So perhaps what this reading, is saying is this deck can take you through the full range of experience and guide you in a supportive way. Faintly, one fair star of evening enkindles on the dusk afar, its lone fire shining serene, till the darkness will deepen others to splendor. I think this is important. It's important that we trust, that we. I also heard that Scorpio is in the darkest part of the sky. I don't even know what that means. I heard that recently. Um, the constellation Scorpio is in the darkest part of the sky. So I feel as though in this reading, the deck is responding and saying, yeah, you can work with this deck for light or for darkness. It's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah. Would anyone like a single card pull? I have a few minutes. If anybody would like one, I'm happy to do that. Let me know. There's not very many in the chat. I think there's just 6 of you here, so I'm happy to pull a single card if you would like one. Something to take with you to contemplate this evening. Yeah, kind of surprised how easy this is to shuffle. No takers? I'll just keep an eye on the chat for a moment before I sign off. So thank you for being here for the walkthrough, and I hope that the person that requested the walkthrough notices that it's up on my channel now. Okay. All right. I want to wish you a beautiful rest of your day, a beautiful sleep, and I will see some of you live in the Facebook group shortly. And I will not be on Friday for my usual chat. I'm going away for the weekend with my partner, and I will be back on Tuesday. So have a lovely weekend and take good care of yourselves. Namaste.